Am I the asshole? For not sharing a family recipe with someone who doesn't consider me family. My boyfriend Nick and I have been dating for 3 years, almost 4 now. Before this incident I got along great with his family. I was invited to spend holidays with them and we exchanged gifts on birthdays, so I thought we were pretty close. Every year Nick's family goes on a trip. This summer the trip was to somewhere I really wanted to go. I asked his mom, who was planning the trip, if I could tag along if I paid for myself. She said sorry no, but this is a family trip and I wasn't family yet. I told Nick and he said no one's SO was invited, so I wasn't the only one being excluded. I was still upset but dropped the subject. It's now fall and the weather is getting cooler. Nick's family was coming over, so I decided to make my family's chili recipe to celebrate the cold weather. Nick and his family love my chili, so I made sure there was enough for them to take home. Before Nick's mom left, she asked if I could share the recipe with her so she could make it for a work potluck. I told her sorry, but this is a secret family recipe. She asked, aren't we already considered family? I replied, according to you we aren't. After that she went oh okay, then left. After everyone was gone, Nick told me I was being cruel. I reminded him that his mother was the one who said I wasn't family first and she can't pick and choose when we are. He said that was a completely different situation and I was being petty. He left after that and has been cold for the past couple of days. I don't see how I'm in the wrong here. It's okay for his mother to deny me something because we're not family, but when I do it I'm an asshole. Am I an asshole or was my response justified? Not the asshole. That was a completely different situation. I agree with this. But not in your boyfriend's favor. A trip is just a one-time trip. If things don't work out between you and your boyfriend, they don't have to keep you invited for their future trips. A family recipe is a family recipe. Once you give it to them, they have it forever regardless. This absolutely requires more of a family status than a vacation. Not the asshole. I am here for the petty, she brought it on herself. I couldn't imagine being together 4 years and finding out they don't see you as family. My husband's mom welcomed me into theirs the first time I ever met her 3 months into dating. If she had treated me like this years into being together and my husband was okay with it, I definitely would have rethought my standing, not just in his family's eyes but his as well. It's not just about a recipe or a trip, it's about how they view you. Nata. Take this as omen on the rest of your relationship. Rules for thee, but not for mommy. Take this as an indication for how your future interactions will be like with your BF. I don't know how he's been like all this while when he had to back you up, but this was so not it. Good on you for sticking up for yourself. Edited to add, not the asshole. Yes, your response is justified. The stakes are much lower for a trip than a family recipe. I've seen people stop talking to family for sharing it outside of the immediate family. My grandma is one of those people and won't even give me the recipes until she is dead. Not the asshole. And you've inspired me to make chili since it's definitely sweater weather here. Stay bad and don't take shit from anyone. You have picked the wrong family to join, and it is clear your boyfriend is a mama's boy. Dating for 4 years and not allowed on a family trip? Nata. Info 1. Is it really a secret family recipe? 2. Is it really a family trip that SOs are not allowed to attend? 3. How many family members have SO spouses? Not the asshole, she's the one that set that stage up, not you. Was it petty or cruel how you worded it? I'm going with no. After all, she pretty much said the same thing. You throwing it back into her face never would have been possible if she hadn't said it first. Not the asshole. She can't have it both ways. Either you're family or you're not. Not the asshole. It wasn't petty as some have said. You applied the same rules and logic she did. Boyfriend is just annoyed you told his mum no. Not the asshole. Expressions such as tit for tat or what's good for the goose is good for the gander are perfectly explanatory here. Good show. Not the asshole. She made it clear that you aren't considered family, so she doesn't get to use the family card when it benefits her. Your boyfriend is an ass. Not the asshole. Sure, a vacation is different than a recipe, but if you slap it or anything as family only to limit access, then it's brought to the same level. Don't give anything that is family only of yours until you're married in and they've taken you on these family only vacations of theirs and not before. Not the asshole. If your boyfriend's mother told you you're not family, you have every right to repeat her words back to her. She's just pissed because she's dealing with unforeseen consequences. She didn't think she'd need anything from you, at least not until after you married her son, so she treated you poorly. Her bad luck that when she did need something from you, the recipe, you remembered past events and treated her exactly how she treated you. Heck, my chef spouse has some recipes that even family doesn't get unless you're really well liked. Not the asshole. Not the asshole. Keep in mind, when you marry someone you usually marry the family too. Grimacing face. I don't see BF cutting off his mother for you if the need arose. Unfortunately, my Mill treated me like one of her kids from the get-go, birthday dinner presents and all, even as a 17-year GF who could have been temporary. Is your BF worth putting up with his mother? She sounds exhausting. Not the asshole. She set the precedent. Wait, how is being excluded from a family trip any different than asking for a family recipe? Not the asshole. Move on from him. This is not a good start to any long future with him, and you have already wasted time with him. Not the asshole. Frankly, I don't consider it petty to abide by the rules that other people create when it weighs against them. The funny thing is that he thinks it's cruel for his mother not to get a chili recipe. A chili recipe. Drop him. Not the asshole. The rules of sharing the recipe are blood or marriage. The rules for the family vacation is blood or marriage. Fair. Seems like it's actually exactly the same scenario. Is fair even if it's petty. Not the asshole. It wasn't a completely different situation. You wanted to go on the trip and offered to pay your own way. It would have been different if you expected them to pay for you to go. Her response was, you aren't family yet. They see you as an asshole because you used their argument against them, and they can't counter it. Not the asshole. It was justified. She could have been nicer about as to why you couldn't come on the trip too. Not the asshole. Family recipes are sacred for those who cook with family. Even if y'all get married, you still need to clear it with your family before giving out a secret family recipe. Not the asshole. Well, how the turntables. Michael Scott. Not the asshole. 4 years is too long for him to not know whether you're his family, or not caring. A good man would stick up for you to his mommy instead of playing don't rock the boat. I want to show off at a potluck and I will force you to help is much lower stakes than I want to prove my children love me more than their SOs, but it's still a petty flex. Sounds like the mom got a taste of her own medicine. Disappointed in your boyfriend for not standing up for you for the chili incident. Not the asshole. She can't have her chili and eat it too. It is a little concerning that your BF doesn't have you back here. It would be different if it had only been a few months, but nearly 4 years. He clearly showed a lack of respect for your boundaries and thinks you should have just bowed down to his mother. Not the asshole. What's good for the goose is good for the gander. I'd actually have given her the recipe though, which would have been tweaked with the omission of one ingredient, and the addition of 2 different ingredients: nutmeg, ginger. Then for years I'd have the satisfaction of her complaining that she can still never quite get it right, and hers is never as good as yours. The confusion and frustration over the years would be hella satisfying. Not the asshole. A little petty maybe, but his mom deserved a dash of petty in her chili. Not the asshole. Yes, it is a different situation. The trip was a temp thing that you were willing to pay for. She now wants a lifelong recipe. I would not have given it her either, and would not do so in the future.